Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 21 of the Comrades of Cinema podcast. We, of course, are your comrades of cinema, friends who have known each other for a decade, just trying to get to know each other better through the content we consume. We're going to start this one off the same way we start all of them off, just by giving you a little rundown of the stuff we've been watching, playing, listening to, just whatever we've been consuming.
Oh wait, yeah, I guess I'm starting. I forgot
Yes.
my week.
One day we're going to nail it.
One of these days we're gonna, dude. Even during the week, I'm like, have you watched the movie? I'm like, I haven't watched it. I'm like, it's your movie. I'm like, God. I'm like, I do need to watch. I'm like, I really gotta watch it. I can't be like I wasn't feeling it actually. Changed my mind. Well, I'll do two. The first one I'll do the one just mine, and the other one is about what Josh and I saw today. And then if Josh wants to talk about it again. So the first one is actually a video game I've been playing. Video games for me, I feel like have always been a little. When I was a kid, I was really into video games, played them a lot, enjoyed them. And I feel like as I've gotten older, it's been more of a kind of in little, like almost binges, like maybe when I'm with people, like we were at school, like we'll always playing Madness a little differently. But when I'm by myself, it's more like, this month of the winter, I really got into a game. It's like, I don't play games now. And then every now and then my identity is that game. Like it's Minecraft. Suddenly right now it is Hell Let Loose.
Okay.
First one. Now, not I kept seeing something about the Vietnam one. Coming out. There's a Vietnam one coming out at the end of August or sometime in August now. And I was like, that looks interesting. So I saw that it was like, I was just kind of looking on the store for Xbox at what was on sale. I just kind of was getting in the mood of like, I'll buy myself a little game. And I saw that the first Hell Let Loose, which came out in 21, was on sale for like it was like normally $50. It was on sale for like $12. So I was like, I mean, even if I don't like it, like I'm gonna try to get this game. So I looked into it a little bit, and then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get the game. It is like I don't know if you guys have played it. It's like when I say it's like Call of Duty in terms of it's a war game where you shoot people with guns, but it is a much more patient, strategic, long form version of that. You have no HUD really. You have no crosshairs. You have only iron sights, except one position who's a sniper rifle. There are different. There's a commander. It's 50-man army. It's 50 on 50. The giant maps, like 2,000 meters or so, if not more. And it's like there's the commander of the whole squad of the whole team, and then there's like you have like a squad with like an officer. You can be a rifleman. You can have up to 6 of them. You can have a medic, an assault rifleman, automatic rifleman, a machine gunner, a support, an engineer. Like this is all just in one group, and then there's tank squads, and there's artillery squads, there's recon squads. And it's all on one team, and everyone's got a different role. Everyone's got a different loadout. Like it's not like, oh, I'm the medic, and oh, that's okay. I've got a smaller gun, but I'll just pick up someone else's gun when I kill them. Nope, you've got your loadout, and that's it. You can there's ammo depots and people can put down ammo. It's just and like it's nothing to go. I mean, if you get any damage, you got to bandage yourself up or you're gonna bleed out. Any amount of damage, it's nothing to get shot by from anywhere from one bullet go down. It's nothing to be hit from an artillery 1,000 meters away. Bombing runs or whatever. It's really interesting. Like it's nothing like to get into the game and spend the entire 10 minutes before you die crawling through the bushes for 500 meters. Just take your time. I don't know. It's like, even when I'm not really that good at it still, I'm still learning so much. I just like appreciate the game. I guess I appreciate the pace. I appreciate the depth of it. It's kind of like if I had to guess the comparison of like I never really even played the second game out to compare it to, but it's like the game Risk versus Axis and Allies. And I didn't play Axis and Allies, but I had it. But it was because I couldn't get anyone else to play. It was so much to it. I couldn't get anyone else to. I could barely learn it. Let alone get one or two other guys involved to play it. But it's just like the difference of like that. If you compare Call of Duty to like this game, it would be like Risk compared to Axis and Allies. You know what I mean? Like it's interesting. And apparently the new Vietnam version that they're doing like a beta test or whatever they call it. Where some people get access to it. It's like. The way they do it is it's obviously your America or your Vietnam, and Americans get like access to the helicopters and like bombing and napalm drops and strikes, but the Vietnamese side gets to build tunnels that connect as fast travel.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah, and like I keep seeing online, people are I guess are complaining about on the American side, but like the people playing on the Vietnam side are just hiding in the bushes too much. Like, yeah, that was also the complaint actually in the actual Vietnam.
I know someone else who may have felt that way.
Yeah, but no, it's just a fun game. I'm enjoying it. I was playing. I found that at least in the beginning, I've been playing a lot of the rounds as the medic, which can be a little frustrating because sometimes it's just quicker to just respawn because you don't really get docked for respawning. It's just the only time you don't want to respawn is when it's like because sometimes the respawn point is a distance thing based on running, but like it is. I don't. I also find it's interesting. Like not that I don't get frustrated with the game at times, but like the like I'll get legitimately like pissed off playing Call of Duty. Like I'll start screaming, just get like it's just like the frustration of dying in the. I feel like it's just maybe the pace and the flow of the game just changes. Like I don't get as frustrated. I feel like when I'm playing it, I feel like it's just you have a little more respect for when you die. It's a little bit more like I probably like I picked my head up for a second. I kind of
should have done that.
Should have done it. Like just what I mean. Whereas in Call of Duty, it's like I actually had the drop on the guy, but then he started hopping like a bunny, and I wasn't ready for that. Like I couldn't hit. Like I didn't. None of the AI jumped like rabbits. But anyway, the other thing which Josh and I just saw was we saw the back rooms, which I was really excited to see. I've been wanting to see it. I didn't really watch the thing on YouTube when it came out. In fact, I'd only heard about it at some point, and it was one of those things where I'd heard about it, but I forgot when I heard about it. So, like in my mind, I wasn't able to place it in time wise. So because it was so like mysterious, it was part of me. It was like, oh, is this like something that was like really old from like when I was a kid? And I was like, no. And then I was like, is this a real? Like I was starting to get triggered. I was like, is this a real? That's like a real thing. And I was like, anyway, watched it, really enjoyed it. My only critique of it, which I was telling Josh of it, which was my critique of wasn't like necessarily the way the characters changed. It was, it was that. Well, I guess maybe it wasn't that the characters changed. It was the way it changed. It was like I guess it was. I feel like we missed a scene, and I didn't miss a scene because I didn't get up and leave. But like it felt
definitely. If someone came into the theater after we were leaving, if they were like, hey, we noticed you guys both fell asleep for 15 minutes in the middle of the movie. Would you like a comped ticket? We would be like, of course, yes. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know. We were a bit confused when we woke up.
Or we'll rewind to the thing you missed because the character basically one of the characters changes basically from a
heavy spoilers here.
Basically changes almost like from protagonist to antagonist. And it's like it's not as bad. It's awesome. It's like it's cool.
It makes sense that it happened.
It makes sense. It works in terms of story, but like in terms of actually happening on screen, it's like, wait, when did this happen? When did you change? When did he literally is at one point it's like, we're just gonna spoil it, and Chad's not gonna watch it. Chad, there's a point where he's like in this back room. He's hearing a person. He came in with somebody. But they're separated. He hears them. They're in a room where they can see him through a mirror, but he can't see. But there's no mirror in his room, so he's like it's all trippy. So they're like, I can see you. Open the door, and he's like, there's no door on my end. And he's got the key. When he comes in, it goes between like a film, and then it goes between found footage. And so this is a found footage moment. He has the camera. He sets the camera down on a table, and then he walks to the end of the room where he's talking to the person on the other end of the wall. And the creature that we don't know what it is enters the room, picks up the camera, and we just see the camera get picked up and come up to this height, so what's happening, whatever. And then we hear the woman because she can see him, even though we don't know how she sees him. but she's screaming because she sees what's behind him and what's happening. And then we cut to like, and I don't know if we ever see his reaction. I don't believe we see his reaction. And if we do it's he's afraid of what's, the creature. And then it goes through a couple scenes. And then the next time we see this main character, which is like 2 or 3 scenes later, he's suddenly like he's like a villain now. But there's like not an explanation of like when he turned or then he turned. It was just like, it just feels like there was not even just a simple moment of like, because like what the creature, I'm just gonna keep spoiling it. Spoil. The creature is him. The creature is like a figment. It's like a version of him. It's like it's like a traumatized version of him. It turned into a monster. It's haunting like this back room or whatever. And it's like, if you had even just had a moment where when like he turns and sees the thing sneaking up on him, that like you saw that he was maybe not afraid of it, like just a split second, I feel like that would have in itself just been enough. But it just feels like it just feels not out of left field in terms of like, it's not a twist that doesn't work or make sense. It's just kind of like, I don't know if you earned I don't think you earned the turn yet. Give me a little scene. Give me a little something in the middle. Give me this. I don't know. That's just my anyway.
Part of the issue with it was it didn't feel like they gave a very good indicator of how long it had been, because like we know he's missing. The other woman, his therapist, goes to find him, and admittedly, like there's mail at the door, like a good amount of mail, implying it's been like days. But with that, like we don't know how long it's been. If they had told us like, this guy's been missing for 3 weeks, and then she goes to investigate, then I could see just being like, oh, well, there we can reasonably assume this guy's been wandering these halls, talking to these like fucked up people for almost a month. He would lose his mind. That's just what would happen. But we don't get that. We just go from he's good, he's crazy. And he was always a little crazy, but like it, it just felt like a little rushed.
And I think that and like I appreciate the subtlety of the passage of time, but when the passage of time is also important to the story, you got to tell me. Just tell me. 2 months, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. Tell me time is different in there. Anything. Like
that's from a movie that felt so like methodical with the way it was revealing information. Like there was nothing that like, all exposition felt like it made sense to come out. It's not like one of those movies where a character's just like, I found this. I think it does this. I noticed when I did this and this and this. And it's like, you don't need to say any of that. It also all felt very like deliberate. And then just bizarre.
And exposition works actually in this story because besides the audience, you have the actual characters themselves begging for answers.
Yeah. Genuinely begging for answers.
Spending lots of money in some cases.
Lots of taxpayer money trying to figure out the back rooms.
But I recommend watching it. It's a good movie.
From an outsider's perspective, is the villain version of the character, is that supposed to be like him possessed or him as a figment of her imagination?
It's like an actual. It's like a 10-foot version of you that's sentient but basically a cannibal or a monster.
Let me do something from the movie the way they kind of describe it. It's like if you tried to describe a dog to someone who had never seen a dog and then ask them to draw it based off your description. It's like if someone did that with the main character, that's what it is. So it's all like the proportions are all weird and like he's disformed, but it's like, because the thing with the backrooms, he says it's like they're remembering things, but they're not getting it right. And then they're recreating things from memory. Okay. And so it's like they tried to like recreate this guy based off a vague memory of him.
Is right. Yeah. Everyone's face is like 5 faces in one,
Yeah.
So it's
like,
are we to assume
it's like early AI when you like put in like a human thing, when you would see him online and it's like, oh, I think this is fake because that guy has 6 eyes, but I don't know for sure. Like it could.
Are we to assume that the like good guy version of the character is dead, and that the creature is?
You watch the creature kill him.
Okay.
Or at least fuck him up pretty bad. I guess technically you don't like watch the final thing, but this also doesn't necessarily feel like a movie that's going to be like, we're setting him up for a comeback next time.
Yeah.
Like,
And I definitely, and I want to send this in the. I'll show you how he dies, because when he died, I was like, oh, this is just. It literally was I think at least recreating a painting, which I thought it was awesome.
I already know which painting you're going with, and yeah, that's 100%.
The Mona Lisa.
And it also
Yes.
works. It also works because it also shows his kind of the
Starry Night.
proportions. Kind of shows the proportions actually that the monster was. Imagine this, but the actor. What was his name? Who's the actor that played him?
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Imagine this guy, but with that face, with Chewa's face. That's basically what the monster was.
Yeah,
And that's basically how Chewa died, except that Chewa's also holding himself. Pretty dope.
Okay.
Overall, I liked it. I gave it 4 stars.
I was like, very classy, very classy. Yeah. No, I liked it. I said, my critiques with it aren't like its concept, and I mean this as a compliment. Like, I don't mean this in a way that like it was like, oh, it needed to be done. Like, no, the concept is so good that it does a lot of heavy lifting, and I mean that in a positive way because it's just a great concept. I wish there was a few more, maybe even, like I said, it could have been a simple, just showing that he's not afraid of this thing for a second, even just for a moment, or just even like you're saying, showing a clear passage of time. Like, hey, it's been a minute down here. Okay, well, he's probably, if he's been sucked down there or whatever for a amount of time, yeah, I could see, maybe Stockholm syndrome eventually getting in or whatever, or something like that. But like, and that's like the minimal critique. Really enjoyed it, especially, and I just love that it's. Besides, I haven't seen Obsession yet, but I just love the. I'll call them indie filmmakers, but these newer kind of filmmakers. I even think the trailers. I don't think you saw a lot of trailers, but I think it felt like the trailers even had a lot of kind of original stuff. It seems like we're seeing a little more original things come out, or maybe I just don't know enough IP. Either way, I'm enjoying it.
So the original, like the short that he made, the first one, it's these guys are filming like a sketch or like a little like home movie or whatever, and the cameraman like trips, falls backwards, and like clips through the ground and ends up in the back rooms, and the entire like couple minutes like video is him trying to get out and then getting chased by this creature. It's not the same creature, and then he falls down a hole and ends up just like miles in the sky, plummeting to his death. And so I honestly, when I originally heard they were doing a movie, I thought the entire thing would take place in the back rooms. I liked the way I told Brendan, they kind of had some like patience going into it. It's about 25 minutes in before they really like enter there's an opening segment in the back rooms. And then it's about 20 minutes before you get in there. And I'm like, I wish they would have done a little more with the stuff they were setting up, but I appreciated them being like, no, we actually want to try to fill out this movie more than just being like, we're just going to cut straight to the spooky stuff. And I think that's nice.
Also just a technique though that they do now. That they told us about it in film school, and now I feel like I notice it everywhere I see it, which is you open your movie with a point in like the middle of the end of the action, just to get people, just to keep people like, oh okay, yeah, I'll watch it.
I want more of that.
Yeah. Let's see what happens with that. Which honestly, like, I don't know. I don't mind it sometimes. It kind of feels like when I see it so much, it's kind of just like, I have the patience. I put the movie on. I'll watch it. Like, like, you don't need to, like, it gets good. I swear. It gets good. Here's some of the good. Promise you, we're going to do some cool stuff. Like, I don't know. Anyway, that's my media mashup. I took a lot of time on that one.
All good.
Okay. Well, since I kind of was part of that one, I'll jump in here as well. I'm going with a game that I've already talked about, but I finally beat it. I finished Expedition 33, and it is without a doubt a top 10 game I've ever played. The story is great. There was a choice that initially I really was not a fan of in the story, and it was like kind of a huge part of the story. And there was a little bit where I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm vibing with this. Now it's like, what's the point of all this? Why are we doing it? And then over time, it won me back. and the ending I think was beautifully done. And now even like because I started a new game plus because I was so into it at the end, and I'm devastated that I'm done. That I wanted a little more, and with the context of knowing everything that happens, I'm still so in, and now it's like okay, no, this is good, and I'm enjoying it. Um, it's I need to complain about something though because it is a complaint with the genre of RPGs, especially where there's like multiple characters, and so you fight in teams of three. Like you pick three people and they go into every battle. If they die, you can call in your reserve team of two, and they can come in. And if you're like, you got them on the ropes, oftentimes you would then those next two come in, you could finish it off, and it's not like it's all for nothing. Um, but what kills me is you go through this story, you have five characters with five deeply personal stories and reasons for why they're trying to complete this goal. And all of them, like you get to know and love all of these great characters. And then it's time for the final battle. They are going up against the boss. They had finally, like, after hours and hours, I had 70 hours of gameplay in this game. And after all of this, you get to the final fight, and then two of them are just like, "We'll hang back, guys. You take care of it." And it's like, no, for the final fight, make it harder, but let me use all the characters. Let me get that moment of like, they all wanted this. Let me just do it. I get that's the mechanic. Make the battle harder. I'm fine with that. But let me get that satisfying moment where all of these characters get to fully come together and do it. Like it just kills me that I had to, because I used
It feels like betrayal.
Mayel, oh my gosh, CL. I don't know if that's her name. I played this game 80 hours. How am I forgetting her name?
Well, I mean, you can forget her
Lune,
name. She abandons you at the final battle.
I was right. CL. It was Mayel, CL, and Lune. And those were the three I used all the time. The main character's name is Verso. He's like the center of the conflict. Didn't have him in the final battle because I didn't like his playstyle that much. And it felt so like, I was like, well, maybe I should switch one of them out to have him so it's more like thematically pleasing as the player to watch him get this win. But I was just like, no, that's going to fuck up my whole strategy and the way I play all my combat and everything. And it was kind of a bummer that I was like, I guess I just don't.
Listen, I know you want to avenge your father, but you're gonna kill the vibe. It's gonna kill the vibe.
I kind of have a setup that I do that involves these three. So
what we're going for here is a very coordinated, it's cohesion, and you're clashing.
But just another thing that this game. I mean, this game gets its flowers. This isn't like I'm pulling some little indie game that no one's ever heard of. It won a whole bunch of awards at the Game Awards. Jennifer English, who voiced Mayal, won Best Voice Actor. Two other voice actors were nominated for Best Performance. Like it's a very well respected, and a lot of people, it's in their top tens. And this another thing that's been talked about a bunch, but still not enough. The music is out of this fucking world. The dev team for this game was 33 people, partially I assume why they went with Expedition 33. The amount of work that went into this game is unreal. They all there should be monuments built of them throughout the streets of France where they're all from. It is the music. I've been just listening to this. I never listen to game soundtracks really. And in the past couple years, Baldur's Gate 3 and then Expedition 33 both have worked their way into my rotation. It is just a triumph. And this is now one of those things where, you know how sometimes it'll be like new movie by Quentin Tarantino and you're like, you can stop. I'm in. I'm going to go see it. I don't need the description. This dev team, Sandfall, that's it. If they put out another game, I'm buying it. I don't need to know what it's about. I don't need to know anything. Just take my credit card. You can auto charge me and install it on my PlayStation for me. I'm good.
This is the Claire Obscure Expedition.
Yes. Yeah. Damn. The fights, admittedly, I didn't 100% it because there were some fights. There's one fight, I swear to God, it took me an hour and 48 minutes before I quit the boss fight because I had taken maybe 8% of its health down. I was just like, at a certain point, I love 100% in games. At a certain point, it's just so not fun. And I know there's people who have beat it and there's ways to beat it. I couldn't figure it out. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm finishing the story before I get mad and stop playing. But even that, I like when games are challenging. I don't want every game to be, oh, I just, cruising through it. It's all easy. I like when a game challenges me and I have to really like learn combat and learn strategy and figure out how these different characters bounce off each other to like, oh, this character can boost this character and give this character health while she shields this other. And I just really enjoyed figuring all that out here. And by the end, I had such a rhythm down with my attacks. It was like clockwork. I'm in my sleep firing off all these attacks, and it felt so good. That was it. Everybody's just staring. But yeah, that was it. 10 out of 10 game. Even with my complaint, I'm still giving it a 10 out of 10 because it was, though I didn't necessarily love the choice, I'm not faulting them for it. And I'm not going to be like, sometimes it feels weird when people are like, I didn't really like that choice, so I'm giving it a bad score. It's like, right, but they made the choice and then made it good and did everything really well with that choice. Just because I'm not fully on board with that doesn't mean they made a mistake by doing it. Like it's a matter of preference. It's not like they fuck something up.
It looks really cool. Like the visuals are pretty nice. Mm-hmm. I just looked it up on the Xbox app.
Yeah. Well, Chad, what about you? What have you been up to?
So a couple weeks ago, I had you guys choose my next book that I was going to audiobook.
Oh, right.
So I I finished Fahrenheit 182. And for those who don't remember, this is Mark Hoppus's memoir, autobiography sort of thing. I'll spare you because I could tell 100 stories from this book, and all of them would be worth it. But it's just best to hear it from his voice or read the actual book. But just some things that I took from the book. The chapters were very short. like in an actual like physical book, they were maybe 1 to 2, stretching 3 like pages long. So it flies by. The like I said, the audiobook is only like 7.5 hours long.
Not bad.
And all that. There was a story for one of the music videos that they shot that was insane. There was a misconception that I had. So pre the album California, I was personally under the impression that Tom wasn't in the band because he just wanted to do the alien thing, and that they didn't. It was just he wanted to do something different, and they want to keep making music, sort of thing. That wasn't the case at all. They did not like each other at all. They didn't talk for years. It wasn't until Mark announced that he had cancer that they started talking again, or like really getting back into being friends. And
maybe Timber Brown was right.
It was insane. I was like, wait, like
that.
But yeah, I'm trying to think. There was the music video for Josie, I think. Who's the like famous 90s teen heartthrob that was in that? The actress, whatever, but
Alyssa Milano.
Yeah. So Mark was like very like nervous around her, and then she ended up giving him her number, and he was too nervous to like talk to her after. and like there's just 100 like I said, 100 different stories I could tell, but the whole cancer diagnosis and fighting it just every single word is just more tears coming out of me, like him being like they were like it was a very real possibility he wasn't going to make it because it was like stage 4 bad, and
Mhm.
he wasn't even gonna like publicly come out and say that he had it. He accidentally released it on his social media like 3 months in that he was in chemo, and then once he did, he was like, well, crap, like everybody's gonna be like happy like I'm dying, and that everybody's gonna be happy I'm dying. And it took him like a day to realize, oh no, everybody's sad. Why is everybody sad? And then like they were like he didn't realize like how much of an impact he had on everybody's lives. And it was just like, oh, just heartbreaking. And it's funny they didn't he didn't really talk he talked a lot about like each album that came out, but he didn't talk a lot about Neighborhood, which I found kind of weird, or Nine, I guess, but I'm not really the biggest fan of Nine, so I didn't really care. But I was like, Neighborhood seems so interesting because like Tom was back in the band after being out for the first time, and I was like, what, like, I wanted to know more, and he's just like, yeah, and then we released Neighborhood, and then this happened. And I'm like, well, what happened after the release? But yeah, just
I guess that was
tears.
just I don't remember too much about it, but that one I think there was a lot of conflict within the band at the time.
Yes.
So it was very like I remember he said like he's proud of the album, but it's not something he looks back on fondly because of the turmoil of like because that was what kind of killed the band.
Yeah.
That like recording that album and the fighting during that really like put the fracture in there. So I imagine it was just him being like, don't even want to look back on the negative there. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah. And then when Tom forms Angels and Airwaves, so right before that, Tom tells Mark, I'm done with music. I don't want to do music anymore. And then somebody asks Mark, like, what do you think of Angels and Airwaves? And he's like, well, what's that? And he's like, well, Tom's new project. He's like, last I talked to Tom, he didn't want to do music at all. What's this? Then I guess he talked to Tom, and he was like, no, it's like an acoustic, like, stripped down. And then it's not that at all. And Mark
Not
got
even a
even more.
little bit.
And he's like, yeah, just kind of. Tom's explanation was, yeah, just kind of got out of control. I was like, okay, but yeah, just Mark always seemed like a really good dude, and he comes across as a really good dude in this. And yeah, that was my media of the week.
Yeah, Blink is one of my favorite bands of all time. We saw the reunion tour together that summer that California came out. I know you and I had it playing pretty much nonstop. I like all Blink. I love Matt Skiba. I love Alkaline Trio. So when they brought him on to replace Tom, I was like, great. A band I love added another singer slash guitar player I love. What could be better? And the rest of the Blink fans went, fuck that. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? It's like,
I thought we were all happy.
Tom doesn't want to be here. It's not like they said, you can't be here. We're kicking you out to put this guy in. I mean, maybe a little bit of that. But,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just happy to have more Blink. And I still haven't listened to the full new album because I don't think I need it.
Yeah,
I listened to One More Time or One Last Time. And the first time I listened to it, there were tears shed for sure. But I was like, you know what? This is I don't need this version of the band anymore. Like, I love having them together, but the kind of other music that I would like, the couple songs I listened to, I was like, I don't really know if this is for me. I think I'm just going to let them live as the stuff that I adore. And maybe one day I'll get into it, but yeah. Well, I'm glad that was good.
Yeah. I guess one last story. So My personal favorite Blink song is "The Rock Show," and he tells Mark tells the story of writing that, and it was a giant like fuck you to the studio because they were like they listened to the album and they're like this needs like a poppy, radio hit, and he's like, well, fuck you. I'm going to write the poppiest radio hit of all time. And I'm like, well, of course, that's my favorite song. But
I love that song, and I love that one of the lines in the chorus is "She said what?" and I told her that I didn't know. It's like that's a nothing line. You just needed something to fill that gap, so you threw it in there. But it's a very good song.
yeah, but I need to stop because eventually this will be the last story. Anyways, they had an agreement to have M. Night Shyamalan direct a music video, and he went through. He said yes and wanted to do everything, and even like put together a concept and all this sort of stuff. And then they're like, "Well, what's the budget for it?" And he's like, $5 million, and the studio was like, "Haha, no." And then they got scrapped, but they'll
That's
be
so
it.
funny.
We can move on.
Really quick, Brennan. We know Chad's. Do you have a favorite Blink-182 song?
It's really the I Miss You, Adam 22. I'm sorry, Adam song.
From No Jumper.
Well, yeah, just based on that album.
All right.
I'll be honest with you. For the first chunk of the discussion, I forgot who the book was about. And when you said Fahrenheit 182, I was thinking to myself, is this the Fahrenheit 451 guy? And then it was really, I'm going to lie to you, it was too long in the discussion before I realized it wasn't, that I carried it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So I think it's Josh's turn to waste our time, from what I've heard.
So I, of course, because I have to be difficult and cram stuff in. Before we move on to that, I think we are going to do another installment where we choose each other's media mashup. This time we will be going the opposite direction. So I will be picking for Chad. Chad will be picking for Brennan, and Brennan will be picking for me. Since I forced this upon us all, I will go first. Chad, for you, first I have to ask you a question because I'm recommending you a podcast, but the episode depends. I know you're a big fan of the Shutdown Fullcast.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask, who do you prefer, Ryan or Spencer?
That's like, do you prefer like ice cream or brownies? It's like, yeah, they're different.
We'd have to go ice cream because you could still get a brownie ice cream.
Okay.
You can't get an ice cream brownie.
Jeez.
If you can't pick, I'll just go with the one I remember being, with the idea I think is better.
I'll go Spencer because I think I know what you're hinting at, and I think I've listened to the Ryan one. So.
Okay. So I am giving you an episode of my favorite podcast, All Fantasy Everything. The podcast where they draft everything and anything under pop culture. And this episode, they had Spencer Hall on to draft the best gas station foods. It's hosted by three comedians that I really enjoy. One, Ian Carmel, was the youngest head writer in late night TV history. Still does writing for like Oscars, Emmys, all the big award shows. He's great. Sean Jordan, a stand-up comedian who has been around. He's toured the country multiple times. He is outstanding. He's like the America's sweetheart of the podcast. And then David Bory, who was the voice of Comedy Central. So all of the Up Next, South Park is him. And, he's very successful as well. All three of them are they're comedians who make their living doing comedy in a podcast. That's good. Like, that's not, there's a lot of podcasts out there. Not a lot of people are paying all the bills with comedy and podcasting. So
it's hard to pay the bills with a normal job.
yeah, that's true.
Do one you love.
So I had a feeling it was that podcast, and I think Ryan's been on a couple, but the one I remember listening to was the Best Places to Sleep.
That was the other one I was going to do. Best places to sleep that aren't a bed.
Yeah.
So that was on there. But yeah, yours is best gas station food with Spencer Hall.
All right. Should I go next?
For it.
All right. So I have two for you, Brennan, because the main one that is the actual thing is you can get done in a couple minutes.
Okay.
So this is kind of going back to
Go for a brisk walk.
Yes.
Touch grass.
So I think it might be over a month or so now, but you recommended, or you media mashupped a Reba McEntire song. And I think we've had a discussion before about country music or whatever. And I'm not the biggest fan of country, especially like the bro dude country.
No, yeah, definitely. That's the worst of it.
So, but there's a country song I've been obsessed with lately. It's by an artist, Ella Langley. Have you heard of her?
Is that ELLA?
Yeah.
A name does sound a little familiar.
But the song is "Choosing Texas."
I honestly so
I know that song.
I've been enjoying that song, "Choosing Texas."
Okay. Okay. Good thing I had two because I was like, but anyways, so the second one is, so I just completed my rewatch of House of the Dragon.
Okay.
And I want you to either restart season 1 or pick up if you can remember where you left off.
You're gonna force my hand on HBO. Fine.
Yes.
Okay.
From what I've heard, you've come into some new money. So.
Well, yeah. We'll see. Yeah, no, I can afford HBO. I have also been wanting to get HBO, so I
was gonna say, I feel like 4 episodes in a row you've gone, oh, that's on HBO. I'm gonna have to get that soon.
I also recently been watching saw some clips on TikTok of The Wire, where I'm just like, fuck, I'm gonna watch The Wire soon.
But
how many episodes in the House of Dragon?
There is 17, I think.
On the first season?
No, that's both.
Well, that's 2 seasons.
Okay. I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, of course we're getting the one that goes old school.
I can't remember if you've watched 4 or 5 episodes. Do you remember?
I honestly can't. I don't know. I might as well rewatch it because, particularly just for the reappreciation of it, I'll start from the beginning.
Because I wanted to see if the time jump had happened.
Time jumps has happened, yeah.
Okay, so you must be in like 5 then.
It was. I remember just being like, I forget why I stopped it, and I forget one of the main reasons was I was just like, this king is written so fucking dumb. I was like, how do you not, like, I mean, the man is basically twirling his mustache as he speaks to you. Like, anyway, I shall begin it.
Because I think that we could have an interesting debate about that. So
I'm down to give it another shot. I'm definitely down to give it another shot. So, okay. I do need HBO, so okay. I'm down. Oh, my turn. I was seriously. Let's look what's next. So now, Josh, I sent you a list of asking you what you would watch, what you've not seen. Just in general, anything on that list you should just watch in general. Like, I would recommend it. Mm-hmm. I will say, if you end up watching anything else on that list, let me know so I don't recommend it to you when I get you for me to mash up again.
I'm just going to keep it a secret to give myself like a free week when we do this again.
So I'm going to say now you haven't seen the Stanley Kubrick Doctor Strangelove How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb?
Nope.
I'm going to recommend that one. The other ones I'd love to recommend, but this one I think, particularly for the time that we're in, it is perfect. Something I learned afterwards is that it's actually, I think the character is kind of loosely based on particularly one general that we actually had, who was called Bombs Away LeMay, who was just very, you can imagine by his name. He has a quote apparently during World War II. He said something like, we better win, because if we don't, I'm going to get tried for war crimes.
You got to appreciate the honesty to a certain extent.
True.
Neither of those were the words I meant to say.
But it's a great little dark comedy by Kubrick. They say it could never happen. And they actually open with like a disclaimer telling you, we talked to the Navy or the Air Force. They're sure this is impossible. Don't worry. I wouldn't go that far.
It's happened 9 times since then.
With
so
everything we've seen, this seems like quite a possibility. Anyway, a little fun fact in case you don't notice it, because you might not, just because the guy is so good in it. Peter Sellers plays 3 characters in it.
Okay.
He is the British officer who's with General Ripper. He is the president, and then he is Dr. Strangelove himself. And he's fantastic in all of them. It's just anyway, you'll enjoy it. I'm excited for you to finally see it.
Yeah.
Now I think, does that actually? Are we going to do the other? Do you want to do the other the one?
We're already at 50 minutes, so I think we just.
Oh, I kind of wanted to do it. I have so many opinions.
All right, let's do it. We're not bound to any timetable.
We're doing the sports one.
Yeah.
One of my least favorite things is when a podcast is like, we're at an hour. How much longer do people want to listen? I'm like, for fucking ever. Just keep going.
I'll turn you off when I decide.
That's
Right.
one of my favorite things about All Fantasy Everything is half the time episodes are like 2.5 hours long. And I'm just like, yeah, that's what I want. If I'm getting one a week, make it 3 hours. I want all of the content. So yeah,
there's someone out there who doesn't watch the videos. They just scroll and they see you post it, and they're going to see a 2.5 hour video. They're like, these fucking assholes.
That'll be the first one that like pops into like the public feed, and people will just be like, listen, a new show. I don't know if I'm giving them 2 hours. But so yeah, this is just an idea kind of inspired by, I mean, it's not like an original to them, but I was a big Watcher fan, the YouTube channel. They had a little bit of controversy, not anything like terrible. They just tried to launch like a paid platform and did it in a terrible way. But to their credit, they came and apologized, and like a genuine good apology where they addressed everything. But they had a series called Top 5 Beatdown where they would just have people on and they would go through their top 5 list of a specific category. So I figure we'll just go through. Each of us will give our number 5, then our number 4, and so on to number 1. And I picked a topic. All of us are big sports fans. And man, there are a lot of great sports movies. So I thought, let's go ahead and do our top 5 sports movies. Do we have like a banner for this, or?
I didn't think of one.
That's fine.
I got nothing. I got sports. Sports.
Yes. All right. So, yeah, we'll just go through our top 5 here, and then maybe we'll do some honorable mentions. Brennan read me his list. He didn't give me the order. He reads me his list, and he's like, so that's probably going to be the top 5. Now my honorable mention, or like my on the cuff, and reads like 10 more. And I'm like, oh, that's a good eye. And he's like, I'm not done. Here are my honorable mentions. And then reads like 10 more. So yeah, we'll definitely do top 5. Then we can do some honorables here.
Okay.
So I'll start off. My number 5 is, and this won't be a surprise to anybody based off stuff I've talked about and recommended, the Iron Claw.
Is that the wrestling one that just came out with from the guy
the Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, amongst others. The wrestling movie about the Von Erich family. Just if you're looking for a bad time, that's the movie to watch. It's so good, but fucking hell, man!
If
what
for
a
some
nightmare.
reason you're struggling to cry and
You ever feel too happy and you want to just kill the vibe before something really bad happens?
Yeah. Are things going good? Too good?
Yeah. Great movie. Probably the best performance Zac Efron's ever had. Unless another movie of his pops up on my list here.
High School Musical, he danced, sang, and played basketball.
Even though he didn't sing, but okay.
Yeah, a couple times.
I saw him sing.
Okay. All right, who's next?
My 5 will be Semi-Pro. Semi-Pro is my 5.
Okay.
I just love it. I always, it's one that I find myself hesitant because especially when I tell you what's on the cuff, right on the cuff. But like, it's whenever I watch it, it's like one of those movies where you watch it again, you're just like, man, this has so many more quotes that I joke. Like, I thought I only had a couple quotes. I remember this, and you're like, man, it's got just so many great moments. Love it. Love the song. Love Me Sexy. The whole thing. Every bit of it. Love it. So many great jokes. The joke where he literally trades Woody Harrelson for a washer and dryer. And he's like, it's anyway. Yeah, that's my 5.
For me, my 5 is Caddyshack. Along the same lines. You've both seen this?
It's an honorable mention of mine. Yep, it's in there.
Okay.
Of the 20.
Because I when I wrote that down, I was like, I think Josh told me he hadn't seen it. And I was like, that's one I don't think I'd recommend.
I've seen the full thing. It's one of those I've seen so many bits and pieces of it that it's hard to remember. Like, did I actually watch this, or have I just seen every notable scene on on the TV at my grandparents' house or what?
It's one of those.
But I'm pretty sure I've seen.
I think respectfully, that's if you've probably seen it then.
Yeah.
I mean, not to discredit the movie in any way, but like, it's also sometimes it is some of those scenes.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say. Just you forget.
Hey, Lama, I better do something for the effort.
It's just halfway through you forget who the main character is, and you're like, why does he suck? And then you're just like, I want to spend like all the rest of the time with the other characters, but
because Bill Murray steals the goddamn show. Just, like,
yeah. But back to you, Josh. What's your 4?
So I'm doing a bold move here, and for my number 4, I'm picking a movie that sucks, and I'm picking Draft Day.
Okay.
This movie's bad. I love it so much. I love it so much. It's so fun. Sonny is the worst GM in the history of sports. They pose him at the end like he's this victor who absolutely robbed the league. Brother, you have no second-round picks. You've given away your second-round picks for nothing. You got a kick returner, a position that in today's day and age doesn't matter. Congratulations, you've done nothing. But I love it so much. It's a yearly watch for me. I watch it every year, the day of our fantasy football draft, because that's what it feels like he's doing. He's playing fantasy football, and he's having a good time. Yeah, I love it so much.
When you say it's a bad movie, I feel like anything with Kevin Costner has it can't get lower than like a 2.5, 3 already, just with him in it.
But it also, I feel like at a certain point, because he's had some incredible movies. There hit a point where it's like, yeah, it's not going lower than like a 2.5, but it's also not going higher than a 3.5. So he's really like locked in. Like, if you're a white dad, you're gonna love it. Anyone else, it's a coin flip.
That'll get you in the Hall of Fame, that average.
Yeah.
What's your four, Brennan?
My 4 is Bull Durham. It's one that I actually have not seen many times. I think in terms of all the way through, maybe once or twice. But it's one of those kind of like where like a little bit like Josh with Caddyshack, where I would always see bits of it, but unlike Josh with Caddyshack, I loved it so much that I had to eventually see the whole thing. And when I did, I loved it. I've got it now. I've got the VHS. And no, I just it's classic Kevin Costner. You got Tim Robbins in it, and then season. It's fantastic. So I love it. It's I love it when I just love the scene where there's so many scenes I love. But I love it when he tells the batter what the pitch is going to be because Tim Robbins isn't listening to him. And then he's like, I gave you a gift. You're going to show up my pitcher? Run, dummy.
Fun fact, I've done that twice.
Oh, have you?
Yes. So we are simpatico. My number 4 is Bull Durham too.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I watched this fairly recently. I had to work on a Saturday, and I was the only one in the office, and I was just sitting at a computer all day, watching cars on a map go around. So I watched Bull Durham, but it was the free YouTube version that was like for TV, so like all the swearing was edited and all that. So I was like, this isn't the full thing, but I still had so much fun.
Baseball movies are just great.
Yeah. What's your number 3?
So my number 3, probably the newest movie eligible, unless any of us have F1. My number 3 is Marty Supreme. I fucking love this movie. I love the Safdie style of panic filmmaking. My favorite streamer, Northern Lion, Uncut Gems is one of his favorite movies. And he's always like, when people are like, oh, it's tough to watch, you're weak. You're weak and you don't deserve good cinema. Like, it's a movie. It's not hard to watch. You sit down and you look at the screen. That's the movie. And it's I think the stress of it was awesome. I love Timothée Chalamet. They'll never turn me against him as much as I hate the Knicks. But it was great. It was awesome.
So for me, I just want to say my top 3, I want to say are interchangeable, and what I mean by that is, whichever one I watched most recently could be number 1. And now my number 1 currently isn't actually what I watched most recently, but is what I've actually thought about watching most recently. So I just haven't watched any of them recently, really. But my 3 that I have for the list at least is Remember the Titans. I love it. I love the performances. Denzel, you can't go wrong with some Denzel. And I've always, like, when I was a kid, especially, more than getting songs stuck in my head, I would get scenes from movies or like just sketches in my head, like the back and forth of the dialogue. And I used to get Remember the Titans in my head all the time of like I run the defense as a part of my offensive strategy. And, and like we are going to do up downs until Blue is no longer tired and thirsty. Like, I just, I know how many fear in a mile because of this 5,280 feet. You pick this ball up, you run every one of them. I love it.
So for years, I thought the "You're Killing Me" Smalls was from Remember the Titans because he goes, "You're killing me, Petey! You're killing me!" after that, and I was like, the classic line that everybody quotes all the time. And it was so long before I was like, "Oh, I'm stupid." But
love it.
So my number 3 is a movie I suspect will come up later, so I won't spend too much time on it. But it is Moneyball. Hopefully I'm right in the fact that we will be talking about this later. But Brad Pitt eating in that movie is awesome. Josh, what's your number 2?
One thing Brennan forgot to mention was one of our first big Ryan Gosling performances. My number 2, Remember the Titans. I love Ryan Gosling, so of course it's fitting that he's in my number 2 spot here.
He's a liability.
Yeah. I love that he still jokes about that. Like, it got brought up in an interview for Project Hail Mary, and he's seen the videos calling him a liability. And, it's funny looking back through childhood. I went to private school, and I was not allowed to have my hair like touching my collar. And it's like all I saw in pop culture were just the coolest motherfuckers with long hair, and I'm like, I want to be Sunshine so bad. He's so sick. Like, he's just doing yoga in the lawn. I've never heard of that, but that looks sick. I was so into it. So yeah, my number 2, Remember the Titans.
My number 2 is Moneyball. I absolutely love just the movies like that, I guess, where it's kind of like, you watch a process of happening and, the improvement over time.
No, don't show me.
What was that? Jeez, I thought it was like some soundbite clip that Josh had. I was like, I don't know why Josh has that.
I'm in trouble.
No, you just scared Brennan.
Good.
But Moneyball,
that's our social clip.
I absolutely love, Brad Pitt in that movie, and then I just love it when he goes to Jonah Hill, and he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Nobody." He's like, "Well, they just kind of like listen to you in that meeting. So who are you?" And he's like, "I just sometimes they don't listen to me often, whatever."
Whose kid are you?
Yeah, I just loved it. So it's such a great movie.
Do you want to interrupt and tell?
No, we don't have to. It's okay.
Did she have a top 5?
Love you too, bye.
Has Lori seen 5 sports movies?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Has she liked 5? That's up for debate.
What?
We won't tell
What are
you
your 5 favorite sports
for
movies?
Remember the Titans.
I hate them all.
She said, "I hate them all."
Okay.
Love you, so.
Does Harry Potter count as a sports movie?
You could probably count Harry Potter as a sports movie.
In terms of the amount of Quidditch in it, I think it was, and then there's the chess
Goblet
game.
of Fire is a.
Pirates of the Caribbean involves fencing.
So does
That's a
Princess
bigger
Bride.
stretch.
Fencing's a sport.
That's I'd be willing to allow it, but I don't know.
I was saying they just have sword fighting. I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean can just be any category because they nailed it. They've earned that right.
Yeah.
They could be top 5 anything. Pirates of the Caribbean. That fits.
Is it my number 2?
Yeah.
So now Josh and I are simpatico. Remember the Titans is 2 for me. The movie that solved racism. How can it be any lower?
And we
Every
never had to
generation-
worry about it again.
Every generation has their movie that solves racism. My father's movie, I think, was Brian's Song, and ours is Remember the Titans. You wouldn't think we needed it because of Brian's Song, but apparently there was a lapse in between the generations. So
it was solved for that generation. Our generation had it until Remember the Titans, and then we stopped, and then the next generation.
Babies are born racist.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
They need white guilt movies to make them understand.
All right. Do we want to do honorable mentions before?
Oh wait, I do. Yeah.
Before number 1?
Yeah, we can run through. So my honorable mentions, I had Like Mike, just a great. Brennan reminded me of that one. One of my favorites as a kid. I was so jealous. I'm like, why do none of my shoes give me Michael Jordan powers?
So I think mine took him away. Took skill away.
Yeah. But then Creed and Rocky. I prefer the first one in both franchises, though. I think all of those movies are at least fine, with the exception of maybe Rocky Balboa. I don't remember being very good. but yeah, good stuff. Jerry Maguire, I really love. And then recently talked about. I put Everybody Wants Some on the list. Uh, it's similar to
Baseball
Moneyball,
does
where it's like
happen in the movie.
intrinsically a baseball movie, despite we very minorly touch on baseball.
There is a baseball in the movie.
Yeah,
It's a couple. Two get split in half.
true.
All right, what's your honorable mention?
My honorable mentions. Oddly, I should have put Like Mike. It's funny that I mentioned Like Mike to you, but never clocked that on my list.
Oh, also really
but,
quick, I also High School Musical,
Okay,
the first one.
of course.
My honorable mentions though are Draft Day's on there, of course. These two that I'm about to name, arguably the three of these could, like I said, it's almost in terms of like how recently I watched them. If I think I've watched these more recently, I think they'd be in my top 5. Anyway, The Replacements with Keanu Reeves, A League of Their Own with Tom Hanks, and The Warrior with Tom Hardy. Warrior always. I want to rewatch it because it always gets me in the mood to work out. Now I think it'll make me cry and call my brothers and my father. A League of Their Own has one of the best lines when she says, "This is our daughter Dottie and our other daughter Dottie's sister." And then The Replacements is just apparently the Ravens actually offered Keanu Reeves a tryout or like some practice off that. You know, in case you're wondering in case anyone wants to make any more arguments for Trent Dilfer. Anyway, I'm not sure how to say the timeline lines up with that for Trent Dilfer, by the way.
Some honorable mentions for me. Rounders. I don't know if that's a sports movie, but I count it. Happy Gilmore. I also had Warrior. Tin Cup. Have you guys seen Tin Cup?
Yeah,
I don't think
okay.
so. I've not.
And a movie Win-Win. Have you guys seen or heard of Win-Win? It's got Paul Giamatti in it. It's about amateur wrestling, and it's awesome.
yeah, it's got Paul Giamatti in it.
Yeah. And I also included a movie I want to watch that's a sports movie called Sugar that I've heard nothing but great things about.
I think I've heard of that.
It's like a very indie baseball movie. So, but Josh, what's your number one?
My number one should not be a surprise. It is my favorite movie of all time, bar none. A movie that's been talked about twice, Moneyball. I think it's perfect. I think it's shot beautifully. I think Brad Pitt is he has never crushed a role harder than that, and he almost exclusively crushes roles. Yeah, it makes you like Chris Pratt, which in today's day and age is exceedingly more difficult to do by the hour. It's just, there are funny moments. I love what about the fans? You're right. Let's have one of them do it.
I was just like,
there's first base is the moon for that kid. And just,
It's not that hard, Scott. It's incredibly hard.
Yeah. It's so good. The song, I'm just a little bit caught in the middle. Life is a game and love is a riddle. It comes on shuffle every now and again and almost brings me to tears because I think of that movie. It's got heart. It's funny. The drama is great. It led to the Tigers getting a very good player, which was good for me as a kid. It's got a lot for everybody.
I never thought about that.
We got Pena.
I know.
That was awesome.
For pop.
Yeah, we stocked a soda machine and got a great ball player. What more could you want? Yeah, I think it's perfect. I love it so much. I watch it maybe 6 times a year.
It's one of the few films my sister
I watch it once. I watch it a second time right again because I'm like, let's go.
My number one is Seabiscuit. It is with Tobey Maguire, Jeff Bridges, and Chris Cooper and Elizabeth Banks and William H. Macy, but he's more of a very side character. But anyway, it is about the horse. It is based on the Great Depression. you kind of follow Tobey Maguire as a kid. You know, like his family kind of realizes that he can make money during the Depression, as working in with the horses. So they kind of just, all right, well, you can feed yourself, and so we're not, get out of here. So he's like on his own from a very young age, and then you follow Jeff Bridges, who's like this kind of like Henry Ford style, just like businessman. He's made money with automobiles, but then like his son dies in an automobile accident. So then like he goes into horse racing, just kind of part of a distraction, and kind of like, as he's in his, part of what he does.
I hate these cars, but I still like going fast.
Yeah,
If only there was something for me.
Yeah, what was there anything? What did we do before these contraptions? But then he finds Tobey Maguire as the jockey, and he's very rough, rough around the edges, whatnot, and but then it's great. It's got great narration. It's I think it's a nice little emotional movie. It's a movie I watched with my father growing up. It was like one of those movies, just like one of the movies that we watch frequently, and I definitely want to watch it very soon. And if I probably will watch it very soon. I love that. Like I said, I believe it's Chris Cooper does the narration. I don't know if you guys know who that is. I'd look up his name, but you'll know the actor.
If I saw his face, I'd probably.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. He's, it's great. And I don't know, I think it's just an enjoyable film. Like I said, you like sports movies. And I think regardless of how you feel about horses, I think you'll enjoy it.
I do have a question. Are horses considered athletes?
Yeah.
Here's what I always thought was funny about horse racing. Isn't it like kind of the only sport where the winner doesn't know that they're doing it or that they won? I mean, do they really have any idea that they're racing the other horse? Maybe some of them do, but do they
Those
understand?
are probably the ones that win.
Do they understand what, how big of the race is that they won? I don't know.
One of my favorite tweets of all time is where someone was just got kicked out of the Kentucky Derby for cheating, and then in parentheses it said, gave the horse an earpiece and told it what to do, quotes, run faster. It's so stupid, but that's just nails what I'm looking for in a tweet.
Love it.
Chad, you're number one. I've already got it written down, but talk to us about it.
So it's The Sandlot. Growing up, we went through at least 3 VHSs because the tape would get worn out. I watched it so much. It was the place we would go up north is about the length of The Sandlot. So it would be, I would pick The Sandlot to watch either on the way up or on the way back. Then my sister got to pick whatever Disney princess she wanted it to watch, usually Sleeping Beauty, to watch on, the opposite.
That's a good choice, though.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
What?
Trust me, of all of them, that's the best.
Beauty and the Beast?
No, you Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, I'm saying Beauty and the Beast would be the music's way better.
I think my sister was scared of the Beast, so.
But you got the 3 witches or the 3 sisters, whatever, with different colors, and I don't know.
That's Cinderella, isn't it?
No, it's Sleeping Beauty. There's 3 sisters, witches. Or I don't know the witches.
The fairy, the fairy godmothers or whatever.
Fairy godmothers, yeah.
Anyway,
side note, I got a horror story if you want to talk about that. We had to go we went to Arkansas one time to visit my cousins, 15-hour drive. On the way there, my brother, 7 years younger, Bronson, he's 25 now. I was 10, so he would have been 3. He cried bloody murder if we did not play the entire 15 hours, Garfield, the Bill Murray one, the first one, on loop for 15 hours. Okay. And we did it. And there wasn't he surely in between the moment where we're actually saying, oh, we're going to do this. And then we were restarting it. He won't cry. No, he cried. Anyway. Good times.
But But the Sandlot's like the childhood I wish I had. Like I wish I had like a group of friends who just wanted to play baseball for 12 hours a day at a shitty field nearby, which sucked because I had a shitty field nearby, but no 12 friends or like 10 friends to play with. But whatever.
I mean, that's tough. It's basketball. You can do it by yourself, but like you get one person, you're good to run one-on-ones forever. Like football, you can throw the ball around. That's fine. You can 4 people. You can have a decent football game.
We actually used to play
Baseball,
on
you minimum you need like 7 people. That sucks.
Yeah, but yeah, I wanted the shoes for. I still want them. I want them so bad. But yeah, we can move on to the actual movie an hour and 15 minutes in. But yeah.
Well, this hardly now feels like the film of the week. But the film of the week was my choice this week, which was The Burbs. It is a 1989. I call it a dark comedy.
I'd say so.
Starring Tom Hanks, Carrie Fisher, Bruce Dern, to name a few. And Corey Feldman. It is a movie that I was born in '94, so this is a movie like we talk about wearing out VHSs. We probably had at least half a dozen of these in my lifetime. You know, we did that was with a lot of the different movies we had. We would watch these things nonstop, and The Burbs was one of those where it was a constant. It was a staple of my house growing up. Art's got a gun. You know, all the just wonderful lines from it.
I told you earlier, the line that keeps killing me, to like even now, at the end when Hanks is freaking out and he goes, "I blew up! Take me to the hospital!" and throws himself on the stretcher. It's so funny.
Think about these old guys. They would leave the house without their hair. No, Walter left this place in a real hurry. Like there's just every character is just so unique and it really does have their own personality, and you can see that personality every time they're on screen, even when they're in the background. And I think it's a great summer movie, and it's also just I haven't seen this in a minute. It's been I don't know when the last time I watched it. It's probably been the last decade I watched it, but it's been a minute since I watched it, and it's just nice that it holds up. For me, it held up. For me, I was like, this is just as good, if not better than I remember it. I've got, I think I got some stories that I could relate to from it growing up. And then just, it's, I'm curious. Had you guys seen this one before?
I had not.
So I actually saw it years ago. I think it might have been a freshman in high school or even maybe in like 8th grade. But I saw it at a church event. It was like a youth thing, and they just in our gym on a big projector screen, we watched The Burbs. And I remember like a bunch of people not paying attention, but I was like, "This rips. This is good stuff."
like someone here's got real good taste.
Yeah,
they might not know how to coordinate things or plan, but good taste. No, like I said, this is for me. It's two of the stories that I think are funny. Well, one's funny, one's not funny. One is that I actually, in terms of feeling like relating to this, I actually did end up having neighbors that were killed. They were in that show, and they ended up being on America's Most Wanted, the case. I don't know if you guys ever saw it. It was in New Baltimore. If you the case I'm talking about?
No.
So they were on Washington Street. So like where so like 24 in Washington, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like that intersection. So if you were to make a left and go towards the freeway, there's a house that's way set back. it's like all the houses are set back, but this one is like 2 stories, brown wraparound porches, I believe, on both levels. Anyway, it was an older couple. I didn't know them very well. They'd come over once or twice. My parents knew them better. I think my dad had done work on their house a few times, and in middle of the day, broad daylight, someone walked up that long driveway. Someone walked up to it and just stabbed him in broad daylight, and cleaned up the blood and left. They tried to write a name. I think the woman, she tried to write a name in blood. She wrote something in blood, and he mopped it up. And they weren't able. Apparently, the way my dad described it, he said that he had gone over there, and like they were very clean people. So like he had like redone their garage floor, I guess, like re-laminate whatever he had done to it. They had treated several times because they just kept things, very clean.
Yeah.
And he said they had done it they had done it so many times that basically they weren't able to peel back, and like they couldn't peel back all the layers to find out what she had written. But it ended up being on America's Most Wanted 2 or 3 years later. About 1 to 2 years later, because I was in 7th grade when it happened, and I was in 8th grade, I think, when it was on the America's Most Wanted. But I still don't think they ever figured it out. They thought it was his son at one point, and then I think they let him go. And I think they think it was professional, because it just was like, it was too calm. It wasn't it wasn't even like a walkable area, like where they have a house that someone could just been walking by. It was like you would have had to go to this, pick this person's house. But anyway, so that's the fucked up portion. The kind of funny story that's related to this movie was, so one of the Klopeks, the doctor, he looks a little bit like my grandpa, a little bit, and I don't mean like a lot, but like just like enough to where if you were a very young child and you had just seen this movie late at night, and then you were on your way to bed, but then your grandfather or an old man, who's your grandfather, was knocking at the door late at night, and you looked down and you saw him, you would also maybe think it might have been the Klopek. And I just went to bed. I never told anyone he was at the door.
He's like, what the hell, Brennan?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they never answered the door. So, but I just remember, I remember knocking, looking, and seeing him, and being like, "Oh my fuck that, I'm going to bed. I'm getting away from this." And, but no, it's like I said, I love this movie. I love the I feel like it's so. Yeah, obviously Tom Hanks' range changes as he gets older, but I just feel like if I only knew Tom Hanks now, I feel like I wouldn't ever picture him or expect him in this movie.
Yeah, it's definitely, they caught him at like just the right time for that movie.
It was right after Big, apparently.
Yeah.
I wish he would just do another like straight up live action comedy. That'd be awesome.
It'd be interesting to see how he does. He honestly could probably come back as like a Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
Or close.
Although
like
him freaking out is the best. He's got such a good, the way his voice gets way high pitched when he's angry. Like it's so good.
It's great. What are your guys' thoughts on it?
I guess I'll go. I had a couple of notes. I usually, as you guys know, I don't usually write notes. But just a couple lines that really struck me. So when it's the plot's really starting to get going, and Hanks is talking to Carrie Fisher, and she's like, "You just need to leave and go on vacation." And he like storms off and goes, "Where am I gonna go? Paris, France, or Banff, Canada?" And I just instantly was like, "You went from Paris to Banff, Canada? Like those are the like two equivalents in your head?" But I just thought that was funny. And then Art says a line, "Who listens to their wife?" And I was like, that was a very 80s thing to say, in a comedy situation. I was like, that kind of caught me, and I was like, yeah, that's funny. Then another as I was writing my notes, I was like, man, there's one thing I forgot, and I just happened to remember it as I was looking at my notes. But it was, why can't guys just have a hobby of just investigating their neighbor? Like, that's fine. Now I have one other one that I think that we should save for the end, but
Yeah, I really I obviously I enjoyed this movie. I said it rips. It still rips. Um, Brennan and I unfortunately talked about this movie a little bit at the theater after we watched the back rooms. Because we're just talking about movies and talking about the podcast, and then this came up. So I'll say, man, it is jarring seeing Corey Feldman put together, and like he's so good in this. He's so good, and it's so sad to go from that to watching I'm the comeback king, and it's just like, you're not, Corey, you're not.
I've been seeing some of his TikToks recently, so then I forgot he was in this movie because when I watched it so young. It was just like I didn't realize who he was, and then watching. So anyway, I seen his TikToks recently, and then watching it, I was like, "Fuck, that's Corey." That's Corey. I was like, because I loved this character growing up, and I love this character still today. He's great in this. I called the pizza dude. Like
I could totally see his character from Stand By Me turning into this character like a couple years later, like as a teenager. Like I had that thought, but
like the fact that he brings for a date, she's like, "I'd like to go to the movies," and he's like, "Nah, we're gonna watch My Neighbors."
We got the movies at home.
Yeah.
Come on.
it's such a good idea too.
It's just people watching. No,
and at the end, when the house blows up and all his friends are like, "Fuck, he was right. This was the place to be tonight. This is awesome. This is so cool."
No, it's I love. I don't know if you watched the video I sent in the group chat.
I did, yeah.
But that one I didn't know a lot of that. I didn't know that it was done during a writer's strike, and that it was, so there was a lot of improv involved, and apparently there's like 3 separate endings. Where one was he just dies, or one where they actually kill him in the ambulance, or they drive off with the implication that he's, that they get away with it, and then the other one was that that they're actually innocent, and that he just rants that he's wrong, and it ends with basically the ambulance.
That's interesting because when I watched this time, I didn't remember the ending because again, it was like 15 years since I watched it last. I think it would have been better if they were innocent.
Yeah.
I would have preferred if they were not actually crazy and the whole neighborhood was wrong. I think that would have made for a better ending.
And I personally have a thing that they could have been doing that would have made sense, sort of.
What's that?
Like being into like pottery and kiln. Like that would explain the furnace and them digging in the backyard for clay and that sort of stuff. But why at night? That's a little, that could be.
It's hot. It's summertime.
Yeah, true. But just like that sort of thing. But yeah, I like when they do end up being killers. I was like, okay, that at least they made a decision, and I was kind of happy that it wasn't fully like. Didn't really know, but at least they chose something.
I think some of it might have also factored into. I think it was hard to tell from the way that they worded it in the video. It sounds like though that Tom Hanks made not saying it was Tom Hanks saying he wanted this, but like because it was Tom Hanks and he was getting so big off of Big, that I think keeping him both alive, I think as the good guy, I think was kind of a. I think that would factor into the decision.
Yeah. I totally get why. I just think I would have liked that choice a little bit more.
Yeah, I can see that though.
That was one of the big notes I had of just like, man, that would have been interesting because I really liked that speech he gave at the end when he was like, "We're the crazy ones." Like, that was great. And then the fact that moment was like immediately undermined when it's like, "Nope, you're right. You were not the crazy one. You were the correct one."
This is the first time I watched it though, where I was really more in, like, I was really able to pay attention and understand, like, really see, like, I paid attention, I guess, to the relationship that he had with Carrie Fisher,
Mhm.
And the first time when I was a kid, I think I watched it, and it was just like the idea of like, well, sometimes guys are grumpy. Well, of course, he doesn't want to go on vacation. That costs them. It costs money. Here's what he knows. Like, and then like now I'm like, this dude's a kind of an asshole. I was like, my God, he's a bad husband. My
And
goodness.
bro, you're Carrie Fisher. Don't blow this, Tom.
True.
Yeah,
True.
I'm like, for real. I'm like, you got a week off in the summer, in this beautiful little cul-de-sac with Carrie Fisher, and you can't find a way to enjoy this. Like I don't know if you saw just at the very beginning. Another thing, just all the little, when Art comes in the house and he's eating all the food, to the point where he eats out of the dog's bowl when she was walking by with it. And like he's like, it's just I love the the I've never seen that before. I've never seen someone drive their trash into their driveway and beat it senseless with. I've never seen that before. Like it's I mean, Bruce Dern is fantastic. I didn't realize this until I was looking up the cast while watching it. Bruce Dern's wife, the blonde woman, that's Francine Smith from American Dad. So in a way, it's kind of a live action American Dad.
All things considered, that's not like a crazy comparison.
No.
You could be like, it's probably an episode of something similar like that happens, right?
I mean, a soldier's way saves the day. I just love it. I love it when I didn't notice this before, where Carrie Fisher's character actually basically like foreshadows what's going to happen to him before you guys fall off a roof and blow yourself up. And literally,
you're right.
Bruce Dern falls off the roof. You could argue that both Tom Hanks blows himself up, and arguably, thank God his name right now. Art's character, he arguably does both. He falls off the power line by blowing himself up.
Yeah.
There's another thing which they, so normally you don't shoot films, in sequential order, but they shot this one in sequential order, and they said, I think probably the reason they could do that was probably because of the way the set was, obviously, because it was only in that cul-de-sac. But I think they said the reason they did that was because of the improv. They wanted to be able to build the character with the improv, which I like that. It's also just like, I don't know, you don't see it often, or you don't hear about it, I feel like, very often. And when I feel like, when I first got into film and we first started doing Amateur Bastards and whatnot, like I knew nothing. I knew absolutely fucking nothing. So to the point where it was like, like, wow, you don't even know, like, basic, like, this is almost common sense, it feels like, and that you're blanking on, like, like I said, you're supposed to, just something basic, like, hey, me and Josh are going to speak to each other in this scene. We should shoot all my shots of talking, and then we'll shoot all Josh's. Thanks. No. We're going to shoot my line, and then we're going to do another setup of Josh's line, and then we're going to do another setup sequentially of my line, and, just a mess. Where, but like, I don't know, when to see him do it like that, I don't know, I liked it. I thought it was interesting, and I liked that it served the purpose that it served. It definitely helped for the cohesion of made the characters come to life more.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite parts was when Tom Hanks is trying to like get some sun, and there's 4 empty beers next to him. Then Art tells him something, and then he crushes 2 of them and throws them down. And then, like, they kind of, I think it was when the femur first shows up, and then Carrie Fisher comes out and tells him something. Then he crushes the other 2 beers and throws them on the ground. I was dying that they just had to introduce the 4 empty beer cans, and it was like, oh well, all 4 of those are getting crushed.
I also love just when he's talking about what he wants to do for the summer. And he's like, I just want to sit here, drink a couple hundred beers.
I've got, her dad gave me some tools, some good tools. I can fix up your house when I'm when I get out of prison. Uh, no, I absolutely love this movie. Yeah, I think I definitely could see it being a better movie in some ways if they were innocent. Um, but I feel like I don't know. It's uh, I just I just love Bruce. I mean, they're all great, but I just love how Bruce Dern is when they go inside the house. I just love almost all of his. I mean, all of his when he at the end of the movie when the one Hans when he's getting out when he's trying to sneak out of the ambulance. Hey, Pinocchio, where do you think you're going? No, so many great parts in this movie.
I do have one final sort of theory that I watched a video kind of exploring. It was that the possibility of Art also being a serial killer, and that
I could see that.
that he either wants to, take some heat off of him to blame the neighbors, or that he's like, well, I'm a serial killer, and I know that they're serial killers because what they're doing is what I would do, so I want to catch them. But it's just
it makes sense too why he's like he never wants his wife to be home.
yes, and
You know?
the original ending, his wife doesn't show up, and it's like,
Oh, I know.
well, yeah.
And then, and then they say to her, "You're my wife." No, I could see that. That'd be interesting. I could see that. I just, what are they doing? Digging? What kind of digging? Like grave digging? I love the whole story about Skip. You know, the ice cream guy. You know, I mean, what do you say? Hey, your house stinks.
Yeah. Well, in the dream sequence, Art plays Skip, who was a killer.
That's the other thing too. Yeah, no, he does. He does. No, it definitely. You know, I could see that. I think that would be interesting. That would see like if you're going to do a sequel, that could be an interesting sequel. Well, he's dead now. Actually, he passed away a couple years back. But no, I think they did I guess they got a show coming out, or there's a show that's out.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any of it. I don't know. I got this one. It makes me think of this one idea that I have. Actually, I was originally trying to write it for where I had to do a thesis film. I wrote this short, but then it was just like one of those where it was like once you wrote it, and there was like, okay, well now film it. It was like, oh no, oh wait, how the fuck? Ooh, I don't got that budget or skill, you know. And the idea is that it's you could pick a cul-de-sac, but it's just a street really. That is the backstory is one night one of the neighbors were like brutally murdered, but it was like very loud and they were like, screaming for help, and no one called. Like all the other neighbors just ignored the calls for help. So now the street is haunted, like just the entire street, and every time someone tries to move into that home, the street haunts the home until the neighbors have to get together and force them out of the house, basically. Or I'm sorry, well, they don't haunt. I'm sorry, they don't haunt the home. They haunt the street until the neighbors force the new homeowners to leave. So everyone else is haunted.
Okay,
But
that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one day maybe I'll write the feature version of it. To be continued. But no, like I said, this has always been a classic for me, and for me it held up. I love to see Tom Hanks go back to movies like this. I feel like just more movies like this in general. You know, I don't know. It's
one thought I had was like, I wish more movies would use the sun as the source of light for a scene. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it just feels more real. Like now that like everything's all artificial light and whatever, it's like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, no, it does feel like it does just feel like a very like it feels like you're outside with them.
Right.
You know, No, I definitely, like I said, it does have like a just good vibe to the movie outside of the killing, and also, can I just point out how tiny of a cul-de-sac that is? Like,
Yeah.
I've been delivering pizzas for a while now, and I get a lot of cul-de-sacs. Those fucking things are gigantic. Like the actual circle itself, giant. That one was very tiny.
There's like 10 houses per cul-de-sac.
I feel like mine's close to that.
Like the one in where you used to live, Josh. Like the one off like right off that when you first come in. That one is like fucking deceptively massive. It's massive, and then when you get into it, it's like it's even bigger. You know?
A friend of mine used to live in that cul-de-sac, and one time I went to pick her up, and it was like, there's so many fucking houses here. Oh my gosh, how are there this many houses in one little circle?
Some of them have like 2 levels actually. Like there's a circle, but then like the circle has like another. They have to like make another circle around it, like because they just got it was too like we didn't measure it right. That's me. I'm very much a cut twice, measure 3 times kind of guy. You know?
Yeah. So do we have more to talk about here? I have a couple little things, but they can go with ratings.
I think
we can go to ratings.
Everything else is to be quoted at this point. You know.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm gonna give it a 5. I might lean 4.5 for some things, but at the same time, it's like just because of how long I've been watching it and that it still holds up to me, I gotta give it a 5.
I'm gonna go. I'll say 4, but the debate is between 4 and 4.5. I kind of wish we had spent more time with the female characters, because for a portion of the end they were right, and I felt like that kind of needed to be justified. But other than that, no real complaints.
Honestly,
I understand that characters,
Okay, bro.
You go ahead.
I was just saying, I was actually kind of confused. It's not like a nitpick. If I had to nitpick something, Carrie Fisher's character actually even being there in the end doesn't really make sense because they leave for the weekend. She leaves with the son, but she comes back without the son.
The son just went away for a weekend, and she was dropping him off. No,
I thought she was going. She was going with Evelyn to see Evelyn. I think it was.
I think that. But he says, so you can see Evelyn, and then to the son says, you get to hang out with your cousin for the weekend. So maybe
I took it as that she was going for the weekend. And then
that's how I took it at first, but then when she came back, I kind of justified it backwards.
I mean, I guess he just needs to get rid of her for the day. So I guess it could work either way. I may have to go watch it again and hear what they say. Just listen a little closer. But anyway, what were you saying, Josh?
I was just going to say I thought it was weird that Carrie Fisher was... I mean, and I understand that just because an actor has success does not mean they will be the focal point of every movie they're in. But this is post-Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah.
And Carrie Fisher's in this movie for like 6 minutes. That feels crazy that she wouldn't be given more of a focus. But again, people just, if it a bit part she liked the script, she'd sign on. It's not like they have to be... You were successful, so you have to have a lot of screen time all the time.
And in some ways, I feel like a movie, if it was made today, would do something like that. And it would be like it might not be bad, but might feel a little forced.
Right.
Yeah, well, I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars as well. I like Chad was between 4 and 4.5, but I feel good with a 4. It's just a rock solid movie. I think it's one where it's like the reason I didn't go higher, I don't think it can sort of necessarily go toe to toe with some other comedies of that era. But that's not even a knock on the movie itself. It's like its report card is great. All A's and B's. And that's what more do you really want from a movie like that? Again, I don't love the choice, but that's not the fault of the movie. That's just I would have preferred something different. So I'm not really gonna drop it too much because of that.
My rating would be the same as you guys, a 4 or 4.5, if it wasn't a movie that I'd watched my entire life. and because
Right.
I'm also factoring in that like it's like if I watched it and it had like, oh man, this isn't holding up like I thought it would. Like I would have dropped it a little bit, but I was like, fuck, I'm enjoying it. Like I almost like I said, I was not avoiding watching it, but it was like it was hard for me to get around to putting it on. And then I put it on actually a little DVD player, for my that my aunt gave me, and I put that on it, and the sound wasn't working right, so I had to switch it off. But I was like, as I was switching to the next thing to my actual TV, I was like 5 minutes in, I was like, I'm actually very excited already. I'm like, I'm back in it. Like I'm already like I'm in the movie. Like it's like he got the nicest lawn on the block because he trains his dog to crap in my yard. Corey Feldman is just great in this, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
I was thinking another just positive about this movie. I would love to be the neighbor that the other like neighborhood kid, because I don't know if you guys had it growing up. It might be different, Brian, because I know you guys moved around a bit. Like a sort of mystery house, or like someone in the street who everybody's like, what's the deal with them?
Dude,
And it's like, that's awesome. And I would love to be that house for like the neighborhood kids one day.
well, let me tell you this actually. It's funny I didn't even think about this. I don't know if you guys growing up, there was called the Hathaway House in New Baltimore. I don't know if you ever heard about that. You ever hear about that one?
I think so, maybe.
So at 24 in Washington, where there's
Of course.
I lived on that. There's that corner house, the house directly next to it, where it would be the first driveway in Washington.
Okay.
My grandfather built that house. My father grew up in it, and then I grew up in it from 6 to like 12. Behind that, where there's 3 new houses that are very close together, that lot used to be one single house called the Hathaway House, because that was the last name of the guy who built it. And it was like 4 stories high, 4 or 5. It was like 4 in an attic. It was a massive house, like gigantic. And people thought it was haunted. There was at one point a Greek family had bought it, and they were trying to do a bunch of like remodeling to it, and they would like roast pigs in the backyard, and then they would try to cut down a bunch of trees, and they almost like crushed their family a few times trying to pull it out, like because they'd have these massive trees and they try to pull it down, but they put they hook up to the minivan and put the whole family in the minivan. And anyway, but like people used to think it was haunted, and they'd go and people would go in it at night,
pushing the door open and just sort of staring at me. She's like afraid to come in. But okay, now she's coming. Okay, come on.
People would go and check it out at night, and then my mom would watch like from one of our windows because she could see people with like flashlights, going around, whatever, and she'd call the police and we'd watch. But yeah, we lived right by that house, and we did go in it one night, and it was pretty cool. It was really, like it would have been cool. I don't know if they could have, if they just couldn't restore it. I don't know if they just couldn't restore it, or if it just wasn't worth the money, but it's a real shame because it was a beautiful house. And it's just right now, it's just the houses that they're building right now in that town. And it's not that they're anywhere with the houses, but they're so fucking close together that it's just like, anyway, I don't know. But yeah, so I did have that experience actually.
All right. Well, yeah, so I think that brings us to our last order of business. Chad, we need your prompts to determine next week's film of the week.
So while I find my prompts, I'll tell you. So I actually wrote my prompts in movies in between us deciding Everybody Wants Some and me actually watching the movie again. So I've been sitting on these for a few weeks now.
Okay.
But oh man, this is gonna get might be a bit controversial. There's one movie on here that could be very bad, and the podcast would be very bad if we if the conversation just isn't right. Anyway, so I decided to do another theme. I don't plan on making themes a every time for me thing, but I had two movies and I was like, well, they're both this, so I just picked another one that was in that same thing. Anyway, so the theme is that all of my movies are musicals.
Ooh.
I thought it was
So-
like war crime denials or something.
No. Okay. So the first one is a ballsy movie that takes on an establishment that is that sat on its high horse for way too long.
Spotlight again?
No.
Spotlight the musical.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good guess though. No, it's not a good guess, but
Okay, I was like, really?
Mark Ruffalo reprises his role.
I couldn't think of a I couldn't think of a great prompt for this, but I'll just say it. A classic that isn't discussed nearly enough. And then the last one is a sports movie where the creators picked the wrong main character.
What was the first prompt again? I'm sorry.
Ballsy movie that takes on an establishment that sat on its high horse for way too long. And I'll tell you all three after.
And they're all musicals.
Yes.
Sports musical.
Yes.
Are any of these movies Grease?
No.
Okay. I don't know a lot of musicals. Are any of these movies La La Land?
Unfortunately, no.
How much crying am I going to do in each of these movies?
Probably none.
Okay. Less fear. I'm a little scared.
These are all very whimsical, I'll say that.
Do
For
you
the
What
have
was the second one?
Can I ask you this? Do you have a favorite prompt or a favorite movie?
No. The second one is a classic that isn't discussed nearly enough.
I think I'm definitely leaning towards the first two.
Okay. And when I say classic, I mean classic in its subgenre that I don't want to say because it'll kind of give it away.
Okay.
High school sports.
I didn't say high school.
I didn't say.
I think I'm kind of leaning towards the first one.
I
Okay.
don't have. I feel like I don't have a firm thing, so I will lean with you, Josh, and we'll go. The takes on the bold established system.
Okay. So next week we will be watching the South Park movie Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Oh, very exciting.
Okay. Interesting. That was not what I thought at all. I'm all about that.
Yes, it is a ballsy movie for sure, and I chose ballsy for a reason. That takes on an establishment, the MPAA, that sat on its high horse for way too fucking long and needed to be chopped down, and they definitely did. And okay, awesome.
Was that the one you wanted us to pick?
No, I didn't have a favorite. But if it was either the first or the second one that I was like, we're gonna have a good episode, and the third one was like, maybe this might be bad.
Okay.
So the second one was the Disney classic Hercules.
Fuck. I actually listened to the soundtrack this past week. Just
So when you said Grease, I thought. So that's why I paused.
Awesome. It's so funny.
So it took me a second to realize, oh no, the John Travolta one he's talking about.
In a way.
Not no.
So
Damn.
the
It's a win
third
win.
of the third and final one, and the one that sparked me to like,
This is the controversial one, the third one.
yes, it was the one that I listened to a podcast about it and got some ideas from it, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool to maybe talk about as a sports movie where the creators picked the wrong main character.
High School Musical should have been Gabriella.
No, it is Pitch Perfect.
Okay. What do you think necessarily would have been controversial? Just the fact that you said it was a sports movie, or?
Yes, sports movie, and the fact that so many people love Anna Kendrick that I don't think she should have been the main character.
Who should have been the main character?
Character named Ben. What?
Jacob Wysocki?
No. Benji is the name of the character in the movie, but it's played by a guy named Ben Pratt, I believe, or Platt, one of the two. Anyways, so there is a connection here because Ben Platt is in Book of Mormon. So, and he's won a Tony since then and has been like a Broadway, like, one of the top Broadway stars.
So what I know him from is making the terrible decision to star in the Dear Evan Hansen movie, despite being like 40 and having him like get this weird CGI to make him look like a high schooler, and it makes him look repulsive. And he got kind of just berated for that choice, which rightfully so. It was bad, but he's a good singer.
He's an awesome singer.
I think for Pitch Perfect, though, I think because it's a competition movie, I think that itself makes it a sports. It can fall under a sports movie.
Yes,
I'm always willing to play fast and loose with like the term sport. Like I'm whatever.
Like,
if it's a competition, I'm kind of all about it.
Like I was telling Josh, on the list of honorable mentions on the longer list, I had Whiplash on there because I think that could count as a sports movie.
Yeah, but his like story. I don't know how recently you've seen Pitch Perfect, but his story within Pitch Perfect is much more interesting than Anna Kendrick's character. Because he originally
sing a song with a cup.
No, he nails Since You've Been Gone in the audition, then doesn't make the team right away, and then like has to come back because the guy from Workaholics gets called off to do something else. So he's a fill-in, and then he steals the last thing, and then they lose for whatever reason.
Let me ask you this: if he's so good, how come I can't remember him?
Because he's like barely in the movie, but his character's so interesting.
I also saw the movie one time, like the year after it came out. I think
that was one my sister had on the TV constantly. I was so fucking sick of that movie. It's good, but I was so fucking sick of it. By the time I like moved out, I was like, this is like a third of the reason I'm moving out. So I don't have to fucking watch Pitch Perfect anymore, Bethany. Yeah.
The pitch isn't even that perfect.
Well, good thing we didn't pick it and we picked South Park.
No, I mean, it's good, and we'd be able to have a good discussion. So maybe in the future, but
if you find out that Josh like just really knows Pitch Perfect. At 1 hour, 5 minutes and 30 seconds, you hear the Kendrick's character.
I'm just like giving a screen rant, things you missed in Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut.
Exciting. Actually, I think I have this one too. Very exciting.
I love the fact that the MPA didn't realize that was a dick joke. But anyway, we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah. We look forward to that. Thank you all for this 2-hour episode of Comrades of Cinema.
Not our longest one.
I know. All that, but it's still not our longest.
Which one's the longest one? Is that the drama?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah. But we look forward to seeing you next time to discuss South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. And we will talk to you. I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, we'll talk to you next week, everybody. Until then, I've been Josh.
Brennan.
And I'm Chad.
We will see you next week.